Coming at you in 3, 2.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Who gives a fuck?
I can't be personally kick Candace Owens and her stinky
cray.
No good thing starts with, I was thinking about my ex.
He ain't learned his lesson. That's a brother ain't gonna learn shit.
I know this is gonna be unpopular, and I don't care.
Let's keep this shit funky.
I'm fucking with you. Welcome to Unpopin. For those who are listening, I'm messing with Mike because he messed up and didn't record the first take. And so for those who are watching, this is actually the second time I'll be saying, welcome to the Unpopin Show, home of unpopular opinions. I'm T-Storm, man. Mike Swift fucking up on the board over there. What's happening?
And you know, the saddest part about it is no one will be able to see it on video because I didn't record it. It was great. It was great. It was also great. And what the funniest part is that I said, you would think that over time we would get more professional.
Right. Oh, I have that. Well, I can forward you the video of all that because, of course, the backup of the backup is definitely running on this end. But welcome to the show. Enough tech talk. That's real inside behind the scenes stuff. Like, what are they talking about? They're talking French. Talking Star Trek. In any case, welcome to the show. Bunch of stuff happening. A lot of stuff to talk about. First things first, before we move on, what we're not talking about. We're not talking about A$AP Rocky and Rihanna's rumored relationship or cheating rumors. We're not talking about that because Clay really don't care about it. And it was a rumor anyway, right?
That look, I think the thing most notable about all of that is she is very, very pregnant.
Super. They're fine. The couple is fine. So we're not talking about that. We're definitely also not talking about Garcelle Bouvet. She has a clip moving around. Garcelle Bouvet. How do we say it?
No, you said it. You said it right, but I was just kind of like, ooh.
God, we're talking about it, but we're not talking about it. There's a clip saying, you know, she mentioned that she dated Will Smith, and we're not talking about him anymore right now. Like, leave the brother alone right now. You know, we don't even want to get into all that. And there's also in the headlines, Coachella. I'm not talking about that. I don't, you know.
Really, honestly, has anybody really cared about Coachella in years? Like, I mean, I get it. They sell out. It was Kanye was headline. He dropped out. The Weeknd came in. Like, but just the world. Does the world really care anymore?
Somebody does because they keep selling out.
Fair enough.
You know, this is a bunch of white kids that go out there and spend their money. So, you know what? This is something I usually don't do, and it almost happened just now because I got a call in the middle of a recording, and I meant to put it on Do Not Disturb. So if you hear some weird audio in between, that's what that was. My phone fucking ringing. In any case, stuff that we're not talking about. What we will talk about, I want to send a condolences to the family of Archie Eversole. Young brother out of Atlanta, most notably known for, he had a big record called We Ready. I can play it, but I think for the video version, for folks watching this, you won't hear it because copyright infringement.
Yeah.
But
we'll mute it and then put a card in there or a link in the description where you can go and check out the song.
Yeah. I was there when they shot the video for this. We was running the record before Bubba Sparks jumped on the record. That's actually the remix of it that went to the major label. You know. I just want to play a little bit of that for folks that may not be familiar with it. If you are familiar with it, didn't know the name, you definitely heard the song. And you know, they played it at a lot of sporting events. And,
yeah, it's like the song that the Atlanta United football club uses to come out to. So he will certainly be immortalized in Atlanta in the sports community. They won't stop using that. They issued a statement saying something similar to that effect. So I just found out about this a few minutes ago. I did not know about it. Do you want to talk about the story behind it, or?
Yeah, I'll talk about it, but I want to, unfortunately, the details of it, and it's hard for me to talk because I knew Archie. That was like my little brother. You know what I'm saying? I met him when he was 16, when he had that record, We Ready. His producer, Fat Boy, I was cool with him, and he brought him when I was on the air in Atlanta at 97.5. I think maybe we had switched to 107.9 by then. And he came up on my show like over the weekend, and I was already playing the independent version of that record in the club, so it was heating up in the city. And he came up, put him on the air. I was the first to put him on the air. He freestyled on the air with me. Gave me an exclusive, the remix. There was another version of We Ready with Pastor Troy on it.
Oh,
Shout out to Pastor Troy. Yeah. I played it on the air. I might have been one of the only people to play it on air because I think later, I don't think ultimately it was ever cleared. And Bubba Sparks ended up being on the record when they got the major deal and did the video. But Archie was a cool brother, man. He was a cool, and he was 16, but he didn't act like a kid. He was a grown man even back then, man. But just a pleasure to be around. Very genuine dude. We stayed in contact, for years. Even I think the last convo, he and I, like we had a text exchange a couple of years ago on Instagram, just checking in. What's up, brother? How you feeling? He was just that kind of dude, inside and outside the industry. It had nothing to do with music. We just was cool. And it's really painful to kind of hear that, he passed away. He was only 37. Young dude. Another fun man. So he was working on his second album that I think ultimately didn't come out, but he had a record with Bobby Brown. I remember that I was like, yo, this may actually take off. It was actually pretty dope, you know what I mean? But I don't know what happened. I don't remember all the details, but between him and Fat Boy, they kind of parted ways, and that record never ultimately came out. But he continued, and more recently, he did an anthem for the soccer league.
Yeah, Atlanta United.
Yeah, so because there's another record.
Yeah, it's like Conquer. It's like Rise and Conquer or something like that.
Yeah, so there's We Ready, and then there's that one that they use as well. So, my condolences to the family, and my prayers are with the family. The information that's come out is that his brother shot him, and he ultimately died from his wounds from that. So that's heartbreaking, and that's got to be hard to go through from the family, to your own family member to do something like that,
Yeah, what I think he was shot March 25th, and succumbed to his injuries April 3rd. And it's sad you lose, as the family, you lose one person, and then you lose the other one because it was, I forget what the charges were before, aggravated assault, I think, but it was upgraded to murder. So they're going to lose that family member to prison. So you lose two of them, man. So that's sad. That's really, really sad.
Yeah, it is. So my prayers are with the family. And rest in peace, Archie Eversole, man. There's no, he'll be forever immortalized, like you said. So, we'll continue hearing his voice, hearing his music. Yeah, just wanted to speak on that, brother.
All right, let's move to something a little more positive. let's lighten this up. Shout out to Mr. Chris Bridges.
Oh yeah, aka Luda.
He just got an honorary degree from Georgia State University. Apparently, and I didn't notice about Chris. Chris is actually quite philanthropic. You just don't hear about all of the stuff that he does. I think he has the what is it, the Ludacris Foundation,
Yes.
where he does a lot of things. But he's donated his time, his wisdom, his expertise to the art school over at Georgia State. He went to Georgia State back in the day, and they saw fit to honor him. I think it was a science of music and science of arts and music management, I think, is the degree.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, I was under the impression, I thought he graduated. I thought he already graduated. So maybe he graduated with a different degree and they give him another one, or is this, I don't know.
I don't know. Every article that I've read on it, it doesn't say it's a second degree, it's an additional degree, and it doesn't say that he graduated. It just says he went there, is what the articles say. So,
okay, well,
it's like,
that's excellent. That sets precedent. You know, I would say that's really dope, and I think the colleges that we attended need to follow suit. So, shout out to Kingsborough Community College. Hey, listen, I'm here. I will take that honorary degree. I don't care what it could be. Janitorial services. I don't care. Just I spent some money there. I attended. I'm doing pretty well,
So for me, it would be the Georgia Institute of Technology.
Nice.
They would look at me and say, "Yeah, nah, he too dumb. he could barely get out of calculus too. Nah." We'll give him a honorary card to the mess hall.
Okay, wait a minute. Calculus, that's that stuff on your toes, right? We're talking about calculus? Speaking of toes, there's a video, there's a clip that showed a little more than Kim Kardashian's toes, apparently. I've never watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I haven't watched one episode, I'm not familiar with the show. I mean, reverse that. I'm familiar, but I've just never watched it. You, Mike, have you ever watched their reality show?
Not even under protest.
Okay. Well, I think they're in their last season, allegedly. And there is a clip that circulated where Kim Kardashian's son, while they were filming the show, he's playing on his tablet or whatever and runs over, mommy, look at this. He's like 3, 4, maybe 5 years old. And it ends up being an ad for a second sex tape of Kim Kardashian and Ray J. Her child found this.
It's so many layers to this, but go ahead. Go ahead.
A child finds this, and she's like, okay, let me see that, and she walks off and shows her sister or whatever. And then this is happening on the show. They had some, a sit down, or maybe what I call it a circle jerk, or they sat down to discuss what the strategy would be to deal with this possible second sex tape. And check it out. Okay, no, that's not working. Again, people, we think we'll be better than this. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go.
So what do we do, Marty?
Marty, let's say it's a brand new tape that Kim doesn't even know exists.
I mean, I'm 99% sure, but the fact that these people keep saying they have a tape, what if I was sleeping and he stuck it up my ass? I don't know.
Oh my
like I'm saying,
I would hope you would wake up
I
from
don't
it.
remember anything. It's completely illegal. Have Marty scare the out of this guy. Kanye, really quick.
And then she calls Kanye, by the way. On the show. She calls him for, I don't know, support, I suppose, whatever. I'm not even going to get into the rest of that.
No, I absolutely want to. Do you have that one? Can you play that one?
I can play it, but we don't hear his voice. Here we go.
Which is fine.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's not okay though, it's not. You know, on Roblox. You know, Sam was on Roblox yesterday. And a thing popped up and he started laughing and I was like, Mommy, look, and it was a picture of my cry face. And it was a game that someone made of Roblox. And it said Kim's new sex tape when you clicked on it. Thank God he can't read yet. And it's like, over my dead body, is that gonna happen to me again? I just want it gone. You know, this is not gonna with me. Like, it's not. So I just want it gone.
I am a mama bear. These are my children. This is my whole life. And it's really hard to see my kids go through stuff like this when people are always trying to attack.
It's just annoying, you know? Like,
yeah, I know. Like,
she is annoying.
Oh God, it's horrible. It's like nails on the chalkboard. It's just horrible. Ow.
So, okay, all right. Can I dig into this or?
Yes,
all right, so,
I don't think you'll get any deeper than Ray J. You're all weak, folks.
Hold on, wait. That was very good.
Thank you.
So kids playing the popular Roblox game, an ad comes up. It's talking about a sex tape with her and Ray J. She's not certain if it's another tape out there. There are rumors that there is an additional tape that hasn't been released. She's tough in one moment, like, we're gonna sue him, and rah, rah, rah. And then the next moment she's in tears. So I'm like, okay, really? Now you all right, the first tape that we all know and love was released in it was taped in 2002, released in 2007, right as they were shooting their show. So
the very first season of the show.
Yes. So
okay.
Coincidence? I think not.
This being the alleged last season of the show. Yes. Interesting.
And right.
Full circle?
Coming full circle, right? That whole statement was just questionable.
Circle jerk, get full circle. Come on now.
I will let the listening and viewing audience pull the joke out of that. I won't highlight it for you. So she has built off of her back
because she was on her back on the tape. Come on now, stop it. Continue.
No, I was just using the phrase that people use. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, sure.
That's called throwing rocks and hiding your hands.
Yes.
But she's built this multi-million-dollar brand, franchise, all of this stuff that started with that tape. Now, she's like, I'm tired of being attacked. I'm tired of having to defend this and talk about this. If the situation were, the tape was done, it was released without her knowledge, she didn't profit off of it, she legally shut it down, then went on to be this socialite, social media influencer, whatever, made millions of dollars, I would 100% agree with her. But what happened was she profited off of it, something to the tune of like $5 million from Vivid Entertainment, I think, who put it out. And then she continued down the path of monetizing her body. Exhibit A. Playboy. She wasn't just on the cover. She was in it.
She did a spread.
And she did one with her mother. So videos, music videos, pictures, her whole persona is sex. So she mad that somebody say they got a sex tape and they ran an ad in Roblox that her son saw, and she's got to protect her children and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But what about who gonna protect them from everything that you did? Who's gonna protect them from the Playboy ads? I Googled 30 seconds while you were talking and got it. The whole thing, like, I can't show what was what came up when I Googled it, because YouTube would shut us down. I can't even put it up and blur it, right? They will strike against that too. But I guess my whole point on this rant is you can't be mad when you establish yourself as that, support that through your continued behavior and action, and then say somebody else is attacking you, that somebody else's behavior is threatening your image with your children. Stop the insanity.
I mean, I know I'm a terrible person.
Oh boy.
The first thing that I thought of was that the fact her child, her son saw this tape, and his name is, saw the ad for this tape, and his name is Saint. I'll stop.
Yeah. I find the claiming the victim status to be ridiculous, right?
I think it's very disingenuous. It's very suspicious because, again, the first season and then the last season, we're dealing with this again. This is over 10 plus years after the fact, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was 2007. It's 2022.
So, yeah, I mean, they're going to profit off. I think and for the mom to act like they didn't know this was, yeah, whatever. The tears, I felt like the tears was a, yeah, we don't believe you. You need more people. Just leave it at that.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just everything that they do feels very performative to me, from an entertainment standpoint, right? It's like, I get it.
Why did she call Kanye? Are they divorcing?
So this may have been shot before all of the Pete Davidson and all of that stuff happened. So this could have been shot months and months ago.
She'd been messing with Pete Davidson before. What she just said, she was messing with Pete Davidson before she hosted SNL.
How long ago was that? Was that last year?
That was months ago. Months ago. When she was on SNL. That's a good question. When was that earlier this year or late last year? I think it was last year. Hoes SNL.
So for everybody listening, while T is looking that up, for everybody listening, you can't see the face that I just made. I was biting my lip and looking left and right to, maybe somebody might have thought I had a stroke if they were watching and trying to figure out what's going on. That was me answering T's question in my mind with lots of baby mama rhetoric that would not be good. And then I just didn't say nothing. So I wasn't having a stroke. The awkward silence. It just was like me. Look, because I've experienced that, right? I've experienced that where the phone has rang and it's been her on the other line, upset about a thing. And just 2 days before, I was being treated like a leper, but then I'm being called to fix it, right? So it's a weird dynamic. It really is. I get why she called him. To answer your question, I understand why she called him.
October 9th, 2021 is when she hosted SNL. Ooh. They were messing. They were an item before that. So possibly September, possibly before that, maybe the summer. She announced that she was divorcing him like last summer, right? So yeah. They shot this show since then. It hadn't been a whole year, not a whole year ago. So in any case, you know what, folks? I'm no longer talking about this.
Ironically, one of our best performing videos was when we talked about Kanye and Kim. So you better believe it's going to be a picture of Kim crying in the thumbnail.
Right. Yeah, of course. Why not? Yeah. So there's that. Dababy. I don't have a whole lot of details on this, but famously, Dave Chappelle told a joke about so his last stand-up special on Netflix, one of the through lines was Dababy's comments about the LGBTQ
plus
community. Yeah, and his weird crowd work that he did on stage, where he said something to the effect of, if you don't have HIV, make some noise or something like that. It was something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was weird. It was messed up, and he was rightfully blasted for it, right? And then they was about to cancel. They was really canceling him. In any case, Dave Chappelle told the joke. He said, Dababy actually he shot someone in a Walmart in North Carolina, and nothing bad happened to his career. Well, he shot someone else again. Apparently, allegedly, there was an intruder on his property, and he shot him.
Allegedly, he shot him. I don't think it has yet been determined that he was the one who actually shot. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
but we all know what went down.
In a call made to 911, a person can be heard saying, "I shot him in the leg," unquote. In response, the dispatcher asks, "Okay, and why did you do that?" And the person on the other line says, "He's trespassing on my property, calling me by my name. I don't know what he's here for, what he's here to take, what he's here to do, but he's shot in his leg. He's neutralized until you guys get here."
Okay, can I just say, the 911 operator's response is the funniest thing in the world. Someone calls and says, "I shot somebody. I shot him in the leg," and they go, "Okay, why did you do that?"
Why are you playing? That's a fair question.
Not why the dude laying on the ground bleeding.
No, I need to know. Hey, why did you do that? Because he's on my property. He ain't supposed to be here, damn it. And now we got a hole in his ass.
We should play a game. Mm-hmm. This is spontaneous, folks. We did not plan this. The funniest answers to that question under the circumstances.
Why did you shoot him?
Okay. Why did you do that?
Why did you do that? He didn't have my money. No, that's actually that would be a real response. No, why'd you do that? He asked me to. Gave him what he asked for. Well, why'd you do that? Your turn, Mike. Why'd you do that?
Well, you took mine. He owed me my money. Why'd you do that? I just didn't like his face.
Why'd you do that? His pants didn't match his shirt and his shoes the right way, and so I just put a hole in it to kind of accentuate and have some blood drip out, and now it matches the shirt. No?
Why'd you do that? Well, if he loses his leg, then I'll be contributing positively to the prosthetics community in that industry.
Oh, God. You asked for it.
Look, I'm not mad at Dababy. I'm not mad at Dababy. You hop over a fence. Dude hopped over the fence, came onto the property. Now, obviously we weren't there. There's no video that has been recorded and or shared that we are aware of. But let's just assume that this person was uninvited. They came onto the property. This man is in his home, presumably with his children, and there's a stranger there. I'm not mad at him for handling that the way he did. In fact, kudos to him, because obviously he either got very lucky by only hitting the dude in the leg, or he has spent a fair amount of time at the range so he could only hit the dude in the leg. That is a difficult thing to do.
Yeah. I can't, for some reason, I'm not able to get the audio. There's actual audio. Let me see. Maybe it's on YouTube. It must be on YouTube too. the 911 call, and we can end the speculation right now. We hear the voice.
I wouldn't be able to pick his voice out. Look, you could play his record, and I wouldn't be able to tell you if it was him or not.
Okay, here we go.
No hate. I just don't listen to the music.
I know his voice. I like his rhyme style. The way he actually dig it. So let's see. Mother effer. What is going on with this? Of course, we were having some interesting technical difficulty there.
Right? We thought we left that in 2020. Psych.
Mm-mm. Yeah, this is weird. The audio just won't play now.
So while we're waiting, while you getting that together, when you mention this story, so sometimes a little peek behind the curtain. Sometimes, and I mean sometimes, T and I will talk about some of the things we want to talk about on the show. We'll just kind of chat about it a little bit and save our honest reactions for the show.
It's called show prep.
Yeah, and he mentioned Dababy, and my first thing was, I have a hard time calling a grown man Dababy. I just do. I've said that on other shows when we've talked about him. I just do. But it made me think about a story. Like, so one night I was at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
I was hanging out with a couple, my homegirl and one of her homegirls. And we were just...
First of all, let me just pause 1 second. The stories that start with, I was at the bar, hang on. There's always something. Please.
But this one isn't that bad. It's just, so we're at the bar. They had a new bartender there. I didn't know who the cat was. A young cat.
Mm-hmm.
And he said his name, and it was the name was obviously not standard American like Roger, David, John, or Mike. And it was a little bit difficult to say, pronounce, or whatever. So he had to say it a few times. And then he said, but people call me Butter. And I leaned in and I looked at him and I said, I'm never calling you Butter, bro. I can't. I cannot call another grown man Butter. I just can't. Sorry.
It's like said the entertainer, ain't call no grown man delicious.
Can't do it. I can't do it. And he looked back at me and he went, fair enough. But that's my little story.
I know my number with this guy sitting here screaming.
I think we caught some audio there. What was that?
Yeah, I think it's some of it must be redacted or something.
Okay. And what's going on there? Got trespassing on my property. Here you go. Sir, what did you do? I shot him in his leg. Okay. And why did you do that? He's trespassing on my property, calling me by my name. I don't know what he's here for, what he's here to take, what he's here to do. But he's shot his leg. He's neutralized until you guys get here. Sir, are you with him now? He's right here in front of me. Okay. Is he awake? Well, football is on my property. Sir, is he awake? Yes. Do you hear him? Is he breathing? Yes, he's shot. Okay. And his leg.
Okay, first of all, I don't know what they did to the voice to make it sound like that. That doesn't sound like a real voice in the first place. It's speeded up and
it sounded like Alvin and Theodore had beef, right? Alvin.
Yeah, so it is.
And Theodore.
It is redacted. There is redacted audio on it, and then they probably messed with the audio so it wouldn't sound like whoever it really sounded like. But yeah, it's him.
That was a long walk to get to. Yes, him. But again, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him. I'm just not. Unless it comes out that he knew the guy and they had an argument or something that we just don't know. If the facts as they have been presented are true and accurate, I'm not mad at him.
No. And kudos again. Yeah, that's a hard shot to pop him in the leg. And that's all he did. I'll say this. So I'm a legal owner, a weapon owner as well. And I go to the range and stuff. And I've been in places where I was, at one point, I was looking for less lethal rounds, right?
Okay.
And I was, when when I first bought my weapons, and I was looking for like less lethal rounds or whatever the case. And at the gun shop, especially in Pennsylvania, it's mostly white boys. And I asked about it, and what dude looked at me and goes, "What you want that for?" I was like, "Excuse me, what you want that for? Somebody come on my property. They better hope." I'm like, okay, these are either and I understand the sense, so I understand the sentiment. So for that young man, Dababy, to pop dude in his leg, and that's all, and didn't continue to keep firing. Yeah, good for him. That's
right, because he said something that really kind of flies in the face of definitely martial arts training, but other trainings to deal with threats. He said that the guy was neutralized.
Yeah.
If,
you get here. Yeah.
if they are moving and breathing, they are not neutralized. Right? That person.
Wait a minute, hold up. So is that what that's really supposed to neutralize means? Evaporate, basically.
Well,
expire.
What it does, it means, as I understand it, please, if you are far more versed in this subject than I am, add to the comments. But as I understand it, it means getting the threat to the point where it is no longer a threat. That's neutralized. If he was laying on the ground groaning, my leg. Right, but if I didn't pat him down, I didn't check to see if he had a weapon. His hands still work, his face, his eyes still work, his brain still works. He's still cognitive. If I don't know that he has a weapon, I didn't see a weapon, and I'm on the phone 911 or turn my back or something, that threat is not neutralized in my mind. Now, again, somebody else may have a different viewpoint on that, but
okay, that's interesting. I'm thinking neutralized means like you said, no longer a threat. And if dude is holding on to his leg and groaning and crying about it, then he ain't doing nothing else. You know what I mean? So, but again, I
wonder what he came in there for in the first place.
He wanted some tickets. He's there for some diapers. Remember the baby used to wear diapers. He actually wore a pamper.
You're kidding, right?
No, you can search that. You can find that. That's how I remember him. He was at some it was some festival with a promotions team, and he was in there with nothing on but a diaper, going the baby.
The baby.
He's a grown man standing in a diaper.
So hold on. Let me go up full, because I just Googled that. Yeah.
You see it?
No.
The baby.
He got on sneakers, socks, jewelry, a diaper, and some hot wings with the get out of jail pose.
There's video of him walking and saying, the baby. That image is burnt in my brain. I was like, so when he got a hit record, I was like, oh, that's the same dude. So
wait, is this somebody? No.
Yep. Yeah, him.
No.
North Carolina, that's your boy.
When branding goes too far.
Speaking of going too far, there's a headline: Carnival cruise passenger jumps overboard. It's horrible. A man jumped overboard on a Carnival cruise headed for Florida. Okay, now I know why he jumped.
Fair enough. Look,
it's not that bad. They got airplanes. You can get out of there. So I ain't going back there.
So
shout out to my family in Florida.
Yeah, I lived there long enough to know I ain't going back there. So, so can we go from Florida to California?
Let's do it.
I will read the story. It is from the New York Post. And let me say for the record, if you've watched the past 2 or 3 shows, these stories, I think, continue to come up. I promise you, I am not looking for these stories. They come up in my feed, and it's like, you'll like this. California teacher accused of engaging in lewd acts with male student. On screen in now is the mugshot. I swear she looks like she's 13 years old in this mugshot. Anyway, a California teacher and water polo coach has been arrested for allegedly engaging in lewd acts with a male student and sending him explicit photos, authorities said. Amanda Quinones, I hope I'm not butchering that last name, 30, who works at Eleanor Roosevelt High School just outside of Los Angeles, was taken into custody Tuesday. The allegations was that she committed lewd acts. I'm skimming now so I don't bore you to death. My favorite line from the story. During their probe, authorities found Quinez had allegedly sent the boy explicit photos of a sexual nature.
Gee, what is...
The authorities have not released the alleged victim's age. The principal made a statement. They let parents know. There's a let's go full screen on this here.
So how does that go? How does that go when you got to let the parents know that the teacher was either scheming on sexual activity with your child or had accomplished sexual activity with the child? How does that conversation go? I know the father's looking at it like, all right, boy. But
Look,
the
now,
mom is like, I'll kill her.
I don't know. Nowadays, the mother might be like, all right, boy.
No. Oh, no, nah. That's horrible. That's it. Ooh.
It wasn't immediately clear if Quinez, who was arrested from custody Wednesday on a $50,000 bond, who was released rather from custody Wednesday on a $50,000 bond, had been placed on leave in the wake of her arrest.
Only $50,000?
$50,000 bond, and it is not readily clear that she has been placed on leave.
Oh.
So her ass is gonna go back to work and be like, who's next?
So you got detention today, all right? Okay, Miss Q. Or she got a line of boys waiting for her. Miss Q. I need some help with my homework.
In a statement, Miss Q said, I'm here to educate the students.
Being a teacher is hard. I mean, yeah.
It seems like the male students in the class are always hard on me. Oh, God. Look, we joke, we laugh, we kid. I only talk about this story for those who believe, and I won't call out a specific group, but I am referring to a specific group, but those who believe that these types of atrocities are only committed by men. It's ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous notion. But the other part of it that I find equally ridiculous is if that were a man, there wouldn't be a $50,000 bond, and we don't really know if this person is still working or not. It would be canceled. So there's a statistic, and I can't remember what the number is, that for the same crimes, men receive harsher sentences by some huge number. I can't remember. I'm not going to throw out a number because I can't remember what the number is, but I do remember that the number I think is larger than 50%. And I think we're seeing it happen again here.
There's part of me that wants to say for between men and women, if men are supposed to be the leaders, and there's going to be some feminists that's going to be like, what? But if men are the leaders and the stronger sex, then that's not out of line. Getting harsher sentences than women for the same offenses. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like again, this is I'm going down a hole that I don't think I can swim out of. But
that's what Ray J thought.
Miss Q. Okay, I mean, okay, and I said I wasn't going to speak his name, but for the Smiths, that whole entanglement thing, right? Difference is, okay, that young man was an adult, right? But it was one of their children's friends,
right?
Their son's friend that Miss Smith had an affair with, or entanglement with, as she called it, right? Had it been reversed, and we laughed about it, we joked about it, and it was, but had it been reversed, had it been not reversed, had it been on the other foot, and Will Smith had been done the same thing with one of his daughter's friends, there have been all types of, going back to what you said, it would have been, called for cancel, and oh, you're such a predator, and this and that, da 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 da. But I think he knows better, because he would never do anything like that, because it would be so much harsher.
Right. So to me, what that does is that speaks on accountability and responsibility, right? Mostly accountability. As a man, and I'm speaking generally, right? As a man, from the time, not even before you reach majority, your mother always taught you don't hit girls. Your mother always taught you don't back down from a fight. If you come home, I know how I grew up. If you come home and you got your butt whooped, then I'm gonna whoop your butt and then take you back over there and make you fight again, right? So there was a certain level of accountability for your actions that was just baked into your life. I was not a brawler or a bruiser, but I knew if I lost this fight, I was gonna get my butt whooped there, then get my butt whooped at home, and then go back. I'm not going to magically be able to whoop somebody at this point. So I'm going to get my butt whooped again. So it made me accountable for the words that came out of my mouth and the actions that I performed. So I didn't ever have to find myself in that position. Unfortunately, a lot of women like Miss Pinkett Smith, they don't live under that same level of accountability. And when you start looking at the sentencing, not rates or the punishments for the crimes and how it's disproportionately affects men over women for the same crime, it's purely invisible that there's no accountability there. The crime is the crime. There should be no difference in how it's sentenced for men versus women. Now, I do concede that there is nuance to each individual case, but you will be hard pressed for me to accept and believe that, taking that nuance into consideration, the vast overwhelming majority of cases where women are charged with the same crime as men, the men's cases were just that much more worse, right? So it reeks of no accountability to me, that you can essentially, certain words I can't say, the M word and the R word to a child, because high school, you're under 18. A 30-year-old woman can do those things, M word, R word, to a child and get a $50,000 bond and maybe keep their job. It's mind-blowing to me.
I mean, that shouldn't be the case. I mean, that's definitely weird as hell. That's definitely weird as hell. And, the fact is, there is a double standard, and there always will be.
It shouldn't be there, though, right? Like, okay, if you are larger than me, right? If you punch somebody in the face, that should be assault. If I punch somebody in the face, that should still be assault. The charge shouldn't be lesser, and the punishment and sentencing shouldn't be lesser because I'm smaller, right?
I get that.
I mean, there are some things where I get.
I mean, there's also, I mean, taking the fact of what the damage was from said punch.
Why does that matter for the charge? That should matter, I think, in the sentencing, but for the charge and how they handle it,
I got you.
It shouldn't matter.
I'm factoring all that together as one, the charge and sentencing. You know what I mean? But you know, if you punch somebody in the face and break their eye socket and I don't, that's a heavier assault.
Fair enough. That yes, you are right about that. In this case, though, right? Are we? You can't split hairs on M word, R word.
No, I agree, and I'm not. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's just it's a weird thing.
It's a mess,
and the fact that we, if it were a male teacher, we would not be cracking jokes on this at all.
No, it would just be, outlandish, and this is outrageous, and 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 if you go back and listen to the body of the shows and you put it together, you're like, that Mike is on something. Like, what is wrong with him? It infuriates me. I get very angry. And I think I said it 2 shows ago. We as men generally suffer from a poor branding situation, that we are dangerous and or predators simply because we exist as men. And I find that to be ridiculous. So when you get into these situations and you see the other side of the coin where, hey, women do that messed up stuff too. So it's not a case of toxic masculinity, which you are assigning toxicity to the condition of being masculine, or male predators, which you are assigning the condition of being a predator to the existence of being a male. It is toxic. It is predator. It should not have a gender or sex a specificity to it. It just shouldn't. There are awful people across the board, and how they say what you are assigned at birth now is how they refer to it. What you are assigned at birth shouldn't play into why that is. And again, I invite anyone who's more knowledgeable about this topic to chime in the comments, jump in, say something, and show me where I'm completely wrong. I am open to having my mind changed on this, but I just get angry, man. I get very angry when I see this kind of stuff.
Yeah. That sounds like a good place to end it.
Let's end it with Mike's anger.
No, only because I would like to hear from some other people, that may have a decent point of view on this.
For sure.
So I invite you all we have a toll-free number. If you're listening, if you're watching, 833-878-7566. Sound off and let us know what your point of view on this, and we will pick this up on another episode and play your comments right here on the show. All right. Excellent. Folks, we appreciate you watching, appreciate you listening. If you enjoy the show, make sure you share it, like, and if you've already subscribed, cool. Tell somebody else. Help us grow this Unpopin community. And we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.